The way that you balance drinking and running, you should do both at the same time. I would run the hangover off. But it got to the point where I was really aware of what I was doing, but I was like, no, nothing bad is happening. This is all okay, it's normal. How can you be an alkie if you're an ultra runner? In 2017, I ran about 50 ultras and marathons in 1 year. That's like one a weekend. And that was the worst year of my life. Addiction to alcohol is basically an abusive relationship that you're in with a substance. The substance is telling you you need it and that it loves you and that it's going to help you, but actually it's fucking you up. It's like you're pouring petrol on emotion. So it's sort of dampening it out a bit and then it goes woof and like comes up again. And I just used to get so angry. I'd fly between angry and sad. I'd be on my own. I wasn't a person that would drink loads and loads with other people, especially towards the end. I would drink alone. And the worst days were just, I remember talking to my sister about it and it's like lava is flowing through your veins, like lava of anger and emotion, and it's like being on fire, but from the inside. My 20s was just a mess. It was just a chaotic mess. I'd literally got myself into such bad debt. I'd just been spending all my money on booze. I was drinking probably 8 to 9 pints of beer a day and then wine on top of that, whatever I could get cheap. And just functioning on a hangover forever. There were multiple times when all my friends called the police because I just didn't come back from nights out and I was found slumped in like parks or on buses or wherever it was at the time. It was really dangerous, but I thought it was really rock and roll. But ultimately, I was really, really miserable. Like, I was so depressed. I hated myself so much. I wasn't doing the basics right in my life. I wasn't feeding myself properly. I wasn't doing any exercise. I was trying to find validation through other people and other things. I'd been to see a doctor again about my depression because I was just desperate. They'd given me loads more citalopram and told me to go for a run. And I was like, no, I'm not going for a run because that's just bollocks. So I'm not doing it. And then I got so desperate that one day I did go for a run and it was horrendous, but I did manage it. And when I got back, I felt better for about 20 minutes. And when I was running, I couldn't think about killing myself because I was running. And then I signed up for the London Marathon because my mum had had breast cancer. And so I thought, I'll run London Marathon to raise money for breast cancer care. And because I'd seen it on the telly and I thought, oh, that's something I can't do. So I trained by the book for London Marathon and thought that'll be it. That's it, after that, I'm done. So I signed up for it the next year. And then I signed up for it the next year. I was doing a marathon a year, and then, so I was living like a saint for like a few weeks. And then I was doing the marathon, and then I was getting really fucked up again. And it was going round and round and round like that, because I thought that's what you had to do. You couldn't drink and you run. But then I found out that you can drink and run if other people are drinking. So I started doing a bit of trail running, going down to Dorset, where I'm from, and doing a bit of trail running. And during these trail runs, there were people drinking beer. And they were drinking beer during. There was a little aid station with little beers, and there was beers after, and there was camping. And I was like, oh, this is good, because you don't have to run very fast, and it's quite social. So after those events, you'd all camp out, you'd all get a little bit drunk, you'd all have a nice time. But I wouldn't get a little bit drunk, I'd get horrendously drunk. But it got to the point where I was really aware of what I was doing, but I was like, no, nothing bad is happening. This is all okay, it's normal. How can you be an alkie if you're an ultra runner? I'd always known I had a problem with alcohol, but it wasn't until I started doing those events where I realised how bad that problem was, because I was thinking about booze all the time. So like when I started running, I was doing it to prove I was okay, to prove I wasn't ill, to prove I wasn't alky, to prove that I was fit, to prove that I was to myself, to everyone else. And I wasn't using it I didn't do it for the right reasons. I was battering myself. It was like another self-harm thing, running. In 2017, I ran about 50 ultras and marathons in 1 year. That's like one a weekend. And I had basically a mental breakdown that involved me trying to kill myself and almost being sectioned, but not quite. That was the worst year mentally of my life. That was where I hit my what I thought was my rock bottom. I was told by Homerton Mental Health Crisis Centre that they were going to section me unless I got into adult care. I went home to see my mum, and within a week, I'd gone to the start of the Autumn 100, my first 100-mile race. And I thought that I was recovered. I thought that's all it took was a week of me just being at home. No. And then I thought I could run the Autumn 100 and I'd be better. So I did. But I was better. And I finished it. I finished it in under 24 hours. But I remember the last few miles of it, I was like, fuck, this hasn't worked. I thought something would change when I finished it, but it didn't. Nothing changed. In fact, it was worse because I'd just run 100 miles and nothing was any different. Look at the tyre. That's mad, isn't it? The tyre is still from that's the actual tyre. Don't you think that's mad? This is a very important piece of hair. This is where her radar comes from. All the good vibes come out the top bit. Yeah, she came into my life completely by accident, and I was in no situation to have a dog. No way. I was literally the last person on earth that should have had a dog. But now she's the love of we're just the same. We're just the same person, but she's a person in dog form. I can't tell you how much I love Pickle because it's too much. There's too many loves for Pickle. Like, she is the love of my life. She's like me in a dog. Like, I love Pickle more than I will ever love myself, but I kind of see it as a sort of self-love, if you know what I mean. She's very similar to me, Pickle. I project onto her, and she projects onto me, and she's just like the other half of me. I don't know what I would do without her. I just don't. Come on then. My friend Catherine, she went and volunteered in a dog sanctuary in Bulgaria. And one day, she sent me this picture of her with this puppy. And the minute I saw that puppy, my heart stopped, and I was like, that's my dog. Like, from nowhere, that's my dog. Like, I knew that dog. I was living in a studio flat in Muswell Hill. I had hardly any clients for my business, had no money. I was still an alcoholic and a complete mess. I was dating Julius, but he lives in Somerset and I live in London. And I now decided I was getting a dog, which was a great idea.
Want your dinner? Yeah? You want your tea? I'm going to make your tea. I'm going to make it for you now. Yes? What do you think it's for tea? It's the same as it always is. It's dirty great chicken necks. Do you want?
This dog was brought over to me in a van, and I met this dog at South Mim Services with Julius, and the minute the door opened and Pickle got out the van, my heart just broke. So hard, isn't it, Pickle? I thought that when Pickle got out the van, she would be like running towards me like a film, but she was broken. Like, she was like covered in shit. She was stinky. She had ticks on her. She was really scared. She tried to get under the van, and it was just, and I started to cry, and I just was like, what have I done? I can't look after this dog. And I just cuddled her and wrapped her in a towel. And we took her home, we took her back to my flat, and she was just a mess. Like, she just was so scared. And this went on for weeks. I couldn't take her anywhere, I had to carry her everywhere. I saw a dog psychologist, and the dog psychologist said to me, I don't think you've got time for this dog. And it was that minute that I was like, well, that's the end of it. Like, I'm moving out of London because I have to for her. Me and Pickle packed up our stuff and put it in a van and moved to Somerset. And when she got to Somerset, she started to recover and she became a proper dog. This is like my favourite place to run with Pickle because there is a plane crash up here, which sounds really bizarre, but in 1948, a B-52 bomber hit Bleaklow Head and exploded into a million bits and killed everyone on board. In the winter up here, it's bleak, it's windy, it's rainy. The wreckage kind of perseveres, and I think that's why I like it. If you're going to come up here, then do bring us a trained sniffer dog like Pickle to look after you. She's doing investigations. 50 years too late. As things went on in Somerset, I felt like my life was going on the right tracks, right? I was doing more and more work for this events company. They'd offered me a job. It meant I had to move to Yorkshire. And that meant that I was going to have to leave my dog. So I said to Julius, by this point we'd split up, I said to him, can you look after her for me just for 6 months? Like, I decided that I would put my career above my dog. Then COVID came. I was imprisoned in my own home. I had no friends, no family, no internet, no work. And I was in this flat in the middle of this village, completely alone. And it was fucking horrific. And my drinking kicked in again. There wasn't any internet in this flat because it was a conversion and they couldn't put it in because the roof was too low. It was COVID time, so they couldn't dig the roads up. And I spent about 5 months in this flat, alone, with no one, with no ability to contact the outside world. And it sent me absolutely mental, like completely off the rails mental. And I stopped eating. I was only drinking. I remember scratching the skin off my own face, like clawing at my face. I went mad. I can't really say it any better than that. I was still running, but I went fucking mad. And then it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to kill myself, properly this time. So I walked to a bridge over the road near my house. When I got there, it was the middle of the night, there was a fucking police car there. Don't know why the police car was there, but it was. I was driven back to Somerset, to Julius's house. And then he opened the door and I looked at Pickle and I just felt nothing. I felt no feelings at all. That state is known as anhedonia, and that's the state people go into before they kill themselves. It's a state where you feel nothing at all. You don't feel joy, you don't feel sadness, you don't feel anything. But when I looked at her and I didn't feel anything, if I look at her now and think about that, it makes me feel sick, because that's fucking terrifying. And people look at their children and they don't feel anything. Or people look at their partners and they don't feel anything. And that's frightening, because you're like, well, that's something I love. And you know, you're aware. But I just looked at her and she was just like nothing to me. So I just drank this fucking wine and then I went to sleep and I slept for 3 days. And when I woke up, I just remember thinking, I can never fucking feel like this again. Ever. I can't ever feel like this again. And that's all I could think was, you can't ever feel like this again. So I just was like, you can't ever drink again.
back? No. Guy in the red t-shirt, way in the back, hold your hand up. Can you hear me? Can you? Yeah, that's you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, can I just thank everybody for joining us for the 10th edition of the Grand Tour of Skiddaw. This has literally turned into the race that the community has saved. I am the new race director. Gaynor, amazing race director for the last 9 years, decided to move on. You guys have saved this race, so thank you.
So we are in Dalston in the Lake District, about to do the Grand Tour Skiddaw. 44 miles up Skiddaw and down the back of it, about 8,000 foot of vert. So did this race last year, love it. And this year I bought like 20 of my mates. So it's just going to be a really good big day out. My friend Nikki is a race director, and it's in aid of the local mountain rescue team, Penrith Mountain Rescue. So it's a good cause, we're all going to have fun, and I'm not taking it too seriously. Have a nice day out. Like you.
I went cold turkey. I refused to take drugs for the depression because I want to feel everything. If I now think I might kill myself, I'm perfectly happy with the thought I might kill myself because it's one of 6,000 I have every day. And I'm not cured, and I'll never be cured, and I'll never be better, and I'll always have depression. But I do have a toolbox full of ways of dealing with it that aren't just fucking ignoring it or brushing it under the table. The funny thing about feelings is that you will always get through your thoughts and feelings. If you didn't, you wouldn't be sat here today. Every thought you've ever had, you managed to get through. And I didn't know that at the time, because when I had thoughts that were bad, I just used to drink to stop them. One of the key things that's helped me is having the dog, is having Pickle. When I got Pickle, I had another reason to live. I didn't really have a reason to live without Pickle, but when I got her and realised how serious it was and that I had an obligation to this dog, I was like, right, I have to be as well as I can be for her. She's at the forefront of everything that I do, which is fucking great.
She's a very good girl. Come on.